Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Bree, and today we are doing a very different reading than we've ever done on the channel before, and these are messages from the masculine. So obviously you guys have seen my channel go through changes, and a part of that is a lot of the messages that I have been really getting, I feel are for everyone. I don't feel that they're for one specific sign, and particularly the message that I got this morning, I feel like is going to benefit a lot of people, or is for a lot of people. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be seeing what messages the masculine has for you. Okay, so we're going to look at a few of the major themes that he wants to discuss, and then we'll elaborate further on them with the Fountain Tarot. Okay, but before we begin, I want to give you guys the gist of the channeled message that I was getting this morning. And basically, as the masculine is starting to wake up and as he's starting to be more aware of his life and what actually is going on in his life, he's able to compare his experience with you to what he's already experienced or what he's currently experiencing. And the stark difference between his experience with you and his current experience is what's helping him to be more aware of what's truly going on here. And as he's realizing this, he's looking back at the time he spent with you and the experience that you guys had, and the feeling I was getting is feeling very, stupid. Just for lack of a better word, just feeling really stupid and feeling really down on himself for not seeing what was going on. Because I feel like for a lot of you, your masculines are very intelligent, they're very smart people, but when it comes to emotional intelligence, that's not their strong suit. And they're beating themselves up for not seeing things or not being able to properly express the feelings that were on their heart. And there's just this feeling of guilt. And that guilt is kind of almost turning into doubting whether or not they can revive this. A lot of them feel, depending on how strong of a person they are and how determined and how much willpower they have, some of them feel like it's a lost cause, they lost their chance, they missed the boat. Others of them are a little bit more optimistic and do feel that things can work out, but also know that it's going to be a process, because they know how they feel about it, and it's like they can only imagine how they've made you feel, and that really makes them feel terrible, So having to face that reality and having to face the way that they've made you feel is really, really challenging for them right now. So let's get a couple of oracle cards here, and these are going to be the main themes, the main things that the masculine wants to discuss with you today. So most important messages from the masculine. What are the main things on his heart right now that he wants to discuss? Okay, so we have romantic feelings as the first card. I feel like for the masculine, the challenge with them is that they don't want to, And this is depending on the situation that they're in, okay? For some of your masculines, it's like they don't want to feel the feelings that they feel towards you, not because they don't love you or don't care about you. It's because it's going to open up this whole other door that they have to walk in. And for a lot of you, they've walked really far in the opposite direction, and having to come back, like I said, for some of them, it's going to be a long trek back. There's going to be a lot of things they have to face, especially if, you know, they've hurt you or they've upset you or they've disappointed you. They do have to walk back through those feelings. They do have to address those things, which, depending on what their current situation is right now, they may or may not want to do that or have the strength to do that or have the courage to do that at this particular time. But what I also feel is like they can't deny the feelings that they have for you either. It's just that when they start to go down the pathway of thinking about you, it can be very quickly met with reality, okay? Because they're still very, very logical. They're still very, very, very earthy. They're still very, very, very practical, okay? So, like, the thing about the masculine is they can really easily detach their feelings from reality. And this is totally dependent on, you know, what their reality is. But for some of them, in the current situation they're in right now, it's like they don't have time to, or they feel they don't have time to really sit down and face these feelings. Because when it comes to you, when they think about you, you're all they think about. Which, yeah, that sounds great and that sounds cute, but they likely have a lot of other responsibilities in their life right now, or just other things that are of greater priority that they really need to focus on, that they really need to get in a line in their life. And that's the thing, is for them, they think of things like pros and cons. They think of things in priority. This is just the way that their mind works. And it's set up that way for a reason, okay? The masculine has a very specific role in society, and that's the reason why he thinks the way that he does, okay? That is starting to break down, that is starting to change, and he is starting to become more balanced. But again, in order to get to a state of balance, you do have to go through all of the hard stuff. And that's the thing, like, initially when he thinks of you, there is romantic feelings, but then quickly behind that, there are a lot of deeper things, right? Because you got to be honest, like, romance is great, but then for them, they want to live a real life with you. So they have to face real life challenges. Let's get a couple of tarot cards here for this. But, you know, a lot of them have to focus on work. A lot of them have, you know, a house, bills. They maybe are married. They maybe have children. You know, they have real life responsibilities with people who likely depend on them, whether that's a working situation or a family situation. So it's like, feelings are wonderful, feelings are great, but then when it comes to everything behind that, that's where it starts to get a little hairy for them. That's where they're getting caught and stuck right now, okay? So let's get a couple of tarot cards here. So we have the Hanged Man, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. So bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Coins here. So right now they're playing a game of sacrifice, and that is just the way that their mind works. Okay, like I said, their mind works more in like what makes sense, pros and cons. What can I give up now that benefits me in the future? And for some of them, I feel that they may have to sacrifice, the emotions that they feel right now in order to achieve success, in order to achieve victory. Because here's another thing, is that for a lot of you, when this person met you, they were operating, in their mind, they thought they were operating at full potential, but then they quickly came to realize that that was not true. They weren't operating at their fullest potential, or they weren't feeling or had never felt as deep as they've ever felt before. And coming in contact with that is very jarring. That is very scary. It's scary to go deep. But where they were at practically in their life, they may not have been in a position where they had the time or the energy to follow up or go deeper with those feelings. So right now I feel like in order to win in the long term, right now, they may have to sacrifice these feelings that they have for you because of their current situation. And again, that's their decision, okay? And I think that there's like an energy within the collective of like, oh, why do they do this? Why are they not paying attention to me? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they're their own person, they're their own person, and they have to make their own decisions. Like they are very intelligent, okay? Like, I think people think, oh, the masculine's unawakened, so it's like he's making unintelligent decisions. No, he's making the best decisions that he possibly can at the capacity that he's currently at. And this is his solution. He doesn't feel good about it, okay? Nine of Swords. But what I will say is that the masculine is very good at going into warrior mode. And what is warrior mode? So Carl Jung has created this theory, of the 4 archetypes of the man. And warrior is one of the archetypes. And the warrior sets aside all feelings in order to carry out a specific task. So the warrior, goes to work, goes to war, and does what he needs to do for the long-term benefit of things. And I feel like that's where the masculine is right now, is some of them are in warrior mode. Yes, they may have feelings, but they also are very logical and can understand, you got to have a balance between your feelings and your logic. And it may just make most logical sense right now, I feel like, from their perspective, to do what they're currently doing. But make no mistake, obviously they do have a lot of fears, and they do have a lot of doubts, and they are very anxious about you, and they're very anxious about what's going on in your life, and how do you feel towards them, and are you mad at them? Are you upset at them? Did they disappoint you? Is there any way they can turn the situation around? Are you going to move on? Are you going to forget about them? There are many different things that they think about, but at the same time, they do feel very confident that the actions that they're taking right now are ultimately going to benefit both of you in the long run, because with the Queen of Coins here at the bottom of the deck, you know, they want to be a leader in your life, a provider for you. They want to have enough assets and resources to be able to care for you. And what they're doing right now may be paving the way for that or setting them up for that in the future. So let's get another message. Most important. Okay. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, your affirmations, and visualizations help to bring you together. So I strongly feel that, you know, those of you who really are sending them well wishes, those of you who are, you know, visualizing your future together, those of you who are, you know, doing your part on your side of the connection, they feel that. They feel that, and that, oh my gosh, that is so helpful for them. You know, I feel like, okay, what I feel like is like this person never believed in the concept of soulmates prior to you. That was just too woo-woo, like not anything that they were into. And I feel like now they do, because for a lot of you, you haven't been near this person, maybe haven't communicated with them, haven't seen them, yet they still feel your energy, yet they still think about you. I feel like they haven't been able to shake you, and it's not a bad thing. For some of them, it does get a little, you know, anxiety provoking, but it's just opened up this whole other side of them that they've never explored before. And for those of you whose masculines really are, you know, really into self-development and who are always trying to better themselves and, yeah, like this unlocking of this understanding, it's just opening their mind to a whole new level. And like I said, when they get these, like, when they can feel your energy, when they can maybe visualize or see something that maybe you're thinking about, or when they just get, I feel like they think a lot about the past with you. They also think a lot about the future. But anyhow, like I feel like they get these like visions or thoughts, and that's what keeps them running, you know, honestly, that's what keeps them going. And it's like, even when they try to not think too much into it, they can't help it because their heart feels it. That's the difference, is like, they can turn their brain off, or they can, you know, rationalize it, but their heart doesn't ever stop feeling. And that's just something they've never experienced before. But I feel that this comes from you. Like, I feel like I said, those of you who are really like, you know, okay, no matter what, I wish this person the best, I send them well wishes, they feel that. They definitely feel that. And that definitely does, it definitely does bring you closer together, and it deepens the bond for them. But at the same time, I do feel that there are times that you're resistant to it because of your fears, and there's times that they're resistant to it because of their fears. Because what I feel like, and the message that I was really, really, really like very specific message that I got was that they've been burned in the past, okay? The masculine doesn't really like being in their feelings. It's just not their comfort zone, okay? Everyone's got a comfort zone and it's not theirs. And I feel like in the past, they may have opened themselves up to someone who they really cared about, or they thought they cared about, or thought they loved, for that situation to blow up in their face or turn back around. And that really pains them. And a lot of people don't realize how much the masculine hurts because of the facade they put on the outside. And I feel like when it comes to you, they maybe felt those same type of feelings before and then instantly tried to shut them down. You know, did not want to feel them, you know, did not want to feel them at all. And because of that, they may have pushed you away. Out of fear. That's the thing. Out of fear. That's the thing. So, like, even though they may have pushed you away out of fear, but, like, they still feel you there. It's like, okay, that shows them, like, consistency. And these are things that the masculine looks for. You know, women want to feel good, or feminine, you know, they want to feel good. The masculine, I feel like, looks more for patterns. They look more for certain traits. They're looking more for, put it this way, like someone who would be a good caregiver, you know? For some of you, you and this person, like, may go down that road where you do have children, and ultimately, like, if you're a more traditional person, you know, and they're looking for someone who's going to care for their children, like, those are traits you want to see, you know? And I feel like I feel like they feel like you never give up on them. And that means so much more than you know. That so much more than they're really able to express, but they definitely recognize it and they definitely see it. So let's get some tarot cards here. Okay, we have the Four of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Queen of Coins. Okay, so that's showing up for the second time in the reading. Bottom of the deck here, we've got the Two of Coins here. So, okay, where the situation gets hairy is that for a lot of you, this person is in another situation, okay? That is the biggest thing. And why is this important? Okay, because the masculine learns by experience. You can't just tell the masculine something and they're going to take it in and they're going to internalize it. Maybe some, but I feel like the majority of them need to go off and have their own experiences. And this definitely is a trait of the masculine, okay? If you've ever read the book Way of the Superior Man by David Data, you know, the masculine is the leader and he wants to feel like he's a free thinker and that he's making his decisions himself. And for some of you, I feel like after you, this person may have gotten into like another situation, and that situation may not be a good situation. But again, it's the comparison of you to others that helps them to see what they have. And that's where I feel a lot of guilt is coming in for them, because they may have gone on to someone else or put their focus on other things and are now only to find out that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Which again falls back on them. They feel stupid, like, why didn't I realize that? I feel like for a lot of you, your masculines have a tendency to beat themselves up, because I feel like they're probably really, really intelligent and they're really good in a specific area of life. They may be really educated, or have like a really, great career. But when it comes to emotions, they're just not there. And a lot of them, I think, are starting to understand, how low their emotional intelligence may be, because they may have found themselves in really, difficult situations that could have been totally avoided. If they would have been more aware. But, what they're learning is that this is a journey and you're going to learn. However, like I said, a lot of them have gone on into other situations, or they've just moved past you, or whatever it was, only to find out that they didn't get what they wanted. A lot of them thought, okay, the grass is greener on the other side, or, maybe there was someone else who caught their attention, maybe someone who they worked with, and it was just more convenient, easier, but then realized, it's really not, or this person isn't all it's cracked up to be. And even for some of them have a tendency to get into narcissistic situations unknowingly. They can be really blinded by someone's outer beauty or outer appearance or outer persona, and not really know what's going on truly inside the person, or when they really need that love and support and connection, it's not available, because the person is like a paper bag. So that's what I really feel like they are getting with that. But again, with going back to the main theme of calling in your soulmate, with the Queen of Coins here, I feel like you help them, you inspire them to stay motivated, because I do feel like for a lot of them, the situations that they're in, the situations that they are in are not good. Not good. Like I said, they may be very convenient, right? Like maybe they're able to live together and that saves them money or something, or it's just nice to have a person there so that they're not alone. But it's not really a good situation. So you give them that. It's like their heart felt with you. They had feelings with you. And now they're maybe with a person who they're realizing there's really no feelings there. Like, again, it could be like a narcissistic situation. And now they're realizing, okay, whoa, there was much more warmth and caring in that other situation. So that's what fuels them to move forward. And because of that, I feel like they really want to pay you back. Like, you may have given them like really good loving and caring, and it's like they want to give that to you because you deserve it. But they maybe didn't realize that. They weren't mature. They weren't aware. They weren't awake at the time. And I feel like that's why a lot of them want to provide for you, because you deserve it. So lots of guilt there. Lots of shame, but also, I also do feel like there's a lot of pride in not wanting to admit they were wrong. That's the problem. Some of them face pride and they don't want to admit they were wrong. They don't want to, and there's embarrassment. There's so many things, with this person that they might be with, for some of you, or whatever it is. They may have introduced this person to all their friends and their family, and it's like, oh my God, how would I ever get out of that? So they're dealing with a lot of really, 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 deep, hard feelings, but these are also things that they have to move forward in order to feel better. That's kind of the catch, So let's get one more theme here. Wedding. So I've been talking about this because I have personally myself been feeling more called and drawn to the institution of marriage, which I never was. Like, if you knew me, or if you like knew me in my personal life, I'm that person that's like, I'm never getting married. I don't want to get married. It's stupid. Makes no sense. And if you go back on my channel, I've done, videos addressing my personal fear of marriage. And your divine masculine, or the masculine, they definitely think about marriage, okay? Because there's this really big, I think, misconception about like men, because for most people we're talking about men. For some of you, we could be talking about women here, but for the majority of my viewers, this person is a man. So there's this idea that men don't want to get married. And that's total crap. Men definitely want to get married, okay? They really do. Men do like security. They do like stability. And there is a level of that in marriage, okay? But going back to this Queen of Coins here, I feel like they really do want to be a provider for you, okay? And a lot of them do think about marrying you and what that life would be like. And I've definitely been getting so many like insights from my masculine about this, which has made me confront my own fear. I'd say I'm probably more afraid of commitment and marriage than, my person is. But like, this is something they're really, really, really thinking about, because they're thinking long term. And that's the thing here with the Hanged Man. They're thinking about the long term. And this is a long term thing, right? This is for life. But this is where they're thinking. But again, they keep it real. The masculine keeps it real, okay? There really are things here that we see that do come in front of this. Things that really need to be worked out, So this is something they're thinking about with you. For some of you, you may be married and they may be married. And that's another thing that you have to deal with. That's very specific for some of you. And that's something that you guys have to really work through. But those are individual things. Like, and he's got to get himself out of his situation again, especially if he's dealing with someone who's like narcissistic, or someone who's like dependent on him, or he may be dependent on them too. Okay? Because if he's in a narcissistic situation, then that means that, he's got things that he needs to work on as well. So there are a lot. This is where they're thinking. This is what they want with you, without a doubt, And again, for some of you, they may be married and are realizing that you would have been a better marriage partner. But maybe when they initially got into marriage, they didn't have the awareness. They didn't have they didn't understand what marriage was. They didn't understand how deep it was and how sacred it is. And now they're realizing like you would be a better and more deserving partner, okay, than the person who they're currently with. I also just do feel like this person does want to lock down, again, more security within their life. And I think they just feel more secure with you emotionally. They may be in a good outer situation, like it may look good on the outside, but they're not secure. They're not secure emotionally, like at all, okay? So let's get some tarot cards here. Five of Cups, yeah. There's so much guilt in this reading. There's so much guilt on their side. They feel so bad. They feel so bad. Like, that's the overwhelming feeling. Star, but they do feel optimistic, which is really good. And King of Swords, yeah. Okay. Good. Bottom of the deck, look, we've got the Ten of Wands. They really are going to they really are going to be making changes, okay? They really are going to be making changes. They really are going to be putting an end to a lot of things that they need to put an end to in their life, because they're carrying a lot of weight that they don't need to be carrying. And a lot of the weight that they're carrying is because they're not set up properly. They're not set up properly, okay? They don't have the right team of people around them. They don't have a good support system, so they're carrying a lot of the weight, and that may be something that they've done their whole life. Maybe they've always carried a lot of weight and that's always been fine, but now they're starting to put that down. They're starting to say, okay, like, I've got to lighten my load here. But again, there is a lot of remorse. A lot of remorse. First of all, when it comes towards you, there's a lot of they just didn't see you. They didn't see you. They were there and they felt it. They were, you know, obviously they were with you, but they weren't with you because their mind was preoccupied. It was thinking of other things. They weren't thinking the way that they were thinking right now. And that's where a lot of the anxiety and the guilt and all these feelings come from, is because they missed the opportunity. And of course, like, a lot of you are like, you know, yeah, if they come back around and we work this out, like, we can go forward, but it's not that easy. Like, that's the thing. It's not that easy. Not in the mind of the masculine, okay? It's not just, oh, whatever, I'll just leave my situation and everything will be fine and I'll go with you and we'll run away in the sunset. No, that's not the way that they see it. It's not the way they see it at all. At all. They have to, because the reason they didn't see it was there was something wrong with them. They had a blocked heart, a blocked mind. And for them, the way they see it is, I have to fix myself. I have to heal myself. Otherwise, I'm going to make the same mistakes again. You know, the masculine doesn't like to mess up. And they don't want to disappoint you either. They don't want to disappoint you. They don't want to that's the opposite of what they want to do. They don't want to hurt you. They have hurt you likely very intentionally. I'm sorry, unintentionally. They have hurt you unintentionally. And they want to know, what did I miss? How did I miss that? How did I not see this? For them, they got to do an investigation report. So that way they can have a new game plan the next time around. But there is a ton of guilt here. You know, they may have really passed up on an amazing opportunity with you, or the ability to go down a path with you, and they missed the chance, and they are taking full responsibility for that. And yes, there could have been things on your side as well, and there was, okay, there is, but they missed it because I feel like they were too focused on something else and just totally bypassed you. And that's where their guilt comes from. But you know what? They do feel optimistic. And again, I feel like a lot of this comes from those of you who are sending them well wishes, who are, you know, wishing them the best no matter what. Like, if your love towards this person is unconditional, they feel that. And that is big. That's huge. Because they've never felt unconditional love, even with their parents. Maybe their love was conditional. Like, oh, if you're bad, you don't get this. Or I'm not going to love you, or I'm not going to give you this. So they may have been performing to get attention or love in their life. And, you know, even if they've hurt you and you still love them, care about them, that is huge. That's huge. And I feel like, and I've been saying this in a lot of my readings lately, like, you are the light. They are following you. They are following your light in the darkness. And they're understanding and realizing that they really have to be more honest and more direct and more upfront with what they're thinking and feeling, okay? So that's what, that's what they want to let you know. That's what they want to talk to you about. And that may be a lot for some of you to take in and really process. But again, I feel like they are starting to open up more, and they are going to have more to say. As they become more confident, they're going to have more to say, okay? So if you've been resonating with this message, if this message sounds like it's, your situation and for you, I'm going to take this even deeper, okay? And we're going to go into an extended reading, and not only am I going to do another spread, I'm going to talk to you like more about my situation. Obviously that's super personal, so I don't want it all out on the interweb, so it's going to be more personal and more in-depth. We're going to do another spread here, kind of more like my traditional spreads, how he feels about you, how he feels about the connection, the actions that he's taking, if any, at this time, and then kind of just what's going on in his overall life, like what's the energy in his life, what's the energy around him, his work life, home life, and if he's in a third-party situation, like what's the energy around that. So if you are interested in that, the information will be down below in the description box for the extended. Also, I have a couple of really exciting announcements. So I have been throwing around the idea of creating a tarot course, and I've been getting some feedback, but I want to make sure that if I take the time to make the course, that it is exactly what you guys want and that you guys can afford it. So there is a survey down below. I would really appreciate it if you could take the survey and let me know what you want to see in the course, how much you would be willing to pay for the course, and if you would be interested in starting your own tarot channel. In addition to that, you guys are going to start seeing different readers on the channel who I have been personally mentoring. So if you are interested in working with me, learning how to read the tarot, learning how to create your own tarot business, then my information for that is going to be down below. Also, for those of you who want to stay up to date with the energy, I do daily readings over in my private coaching group, Rising Community. So for $14.99 a month, you get access to my daily readings and my weekly live readings. I go live every single Wednesday, so you'll have an opportunity to talk with me and ask questions. Also, I do have training modules within my community that you can use to coach yourself to work on things within your life, whether that's, setting boundaries for yourself, whether that is creating a budget for yourself, whether that is just becoming more self-aware or goal setting or vision planning. I have modules all for that can really help you. And, when you're in the community, I can interact with you more and I can keep up with what's going on with you and your goals. So it's just a way that I can, help you. So definitely check that out down below as well. Everyone who goes through that, they get a lot of benefit from that, and I'm able to develop a deeper relationship with them. So I think that's everything I want to let you guys know. I also do offer private readings, so that info is down below as well. I'd love to work with you. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will see you over in the extended.